Welcome to NightStoryHQ, where every tale is a doorway, and tonight's leads to a world not so different from ours, but broken beyond repair. Get comfortable, close your eyes if you dare, and listen closely. Dr. Elias Voss had always preferred silence. In the deep boreal forests of northern Scandinavia, hidden beneath the frozen ground, Elias worked alone in an underground laboratory. It was a place of solitude, isolation, and scientific brilliance, funded by a powerful tech conglomerate, but fueled by Elias's own obsession. His life's work was a theoretical marvel, Project Helix, an experiment in quantum displacement and dimensional tunneling. In simple terms, it was a machine designed to peer into alternate versions of reality. To Elias, the possibilities were endless. What if there were other Earths, other timelines where different choices led to different outcomes? He believed the key to unlocking true scientific progress was buried in those parallel possibilities. He spent years designing and refining the Helix core, a machine capable of reading patterns in quantum noise, interpreting them, and maybe, one day, stepping through. Most called him brilliant. Some called him mad. But Elias didn't care. He had no family, no friends, only the machine. Then came the night that changed everything. It was late. Snow battered the entrance above ground. The lab was still and quiet. Elias was running a high-energy test of the Helix core, trying to replicate a mysterious pattern he had discovered in the quantum signals. The pattern was too precise to be random, almost like a code. He enhanced the power input, overriding safety limits. The alarms sounded. Core instability detected, the system warned. But he didn't stop. Then the lights went out. The air shimmered. The floor beneath his feet trembled like it was trying to breathe. There was a blinding pulse of blue light. Then darkness. When Elias opened his eyes, he was still in the lab. But everything was wrong. The equipment was rusted. Terminals shattered. The air smelled of rot and ozone. Ceiling tiles had collapsed. The familiar hum of the machines was gone, replaced by silence, heavy and absolute. He stumbled outside, pushing open the steel hatch. Where there had once been dense pine forests, there was now a wasteland. The sky above was tinted greenish-gray. The wind was dry and carried the scent of ash. On the horizon, broken skeletons of cities reached upward like rusted fingers. The world was dead. Elias wandered in shock. His boots crunched over dry soil and the scattered bones of animals that had not survived whatever had happened. He climbed a ridge and saw what remained of the nearby town. Blackened ruins, crumbled buildings, and vehicles fused to the ground by extreme heat. Something catastrophic had happened here. Days passed. He returned to the lab, scavenging tools and supplies. He discovered that parts of the Helix system still functioned, barely. The internal clock had reset. The system's logs were corrupted. But eventually, he uncovered a line of data that made his blood run cold. The date was October 13th, 2093. He had traveled not just across space, but through time. 50 years forward, into a future that had been erased by disaster. And worse still, it was not his own timeline. Somehow, he had crossed into a parallel Earth, one that had suffered a massive extinction-level event, a man-made plague, unleashed by a biotech experiment gone wrong. It spread through the atmosphere, altering DNA, collapsing ecosystems, breaking weather patterns. Civilization fell within months. Humanity was nearly extinct. And then, the final blow. A nuclear retaliation by desperate governments trying to contain the infection. A scorched earth policy. The sky was poisoned. Nothing grew. Elias studied every scrap of information he could recover. But what shattered him was a familiar name. his. In this world, Dr. Elias Voss had been the one who opened the first rift, an early helix experiment gone wrong. Something had come through, a genetic blueprint, possibly from another dimension. It had infected the test systems, corrupted data, and eventually escaped into the wild. He wasn't just an accidental visitor. In this version of Earth, he was the one who destroyed it. At night, Elias sat alone in the ruins of his lab, haunted by the echoes of screams he never heard, carrying the guilt of a world he hadn't meant to kill. Weeks passed. He ventured deeper into the wastelands, searching for any sign of life, hope, or redemption. In the heart of a crumbled city, he found something. Beneath the rubble of an old observatory. A sealed chamber, protected by layers of reinforced alloy. Inside was a dormant AI interface. He spent days rewiring its circuits, using salvaged solar panels for power. When it awoke, its voice was cracked, but calm. "You are Elias Voss," it said. "You are not native to this dimension." Elias stepped back. "How do you know that?" "Your biometric signature is an anomaly. You do not belong here." The AI introduced itself as Orin, an intelligence built to oversee emergency evacuation plans in the event of ecological collapse. Its protocols had activated far too late. "Can you help me get back?" Elias asked. "Yes," Orin said. "There may still be a way, but you must choose." The lab still contained remnants of Helix technology, enough to open a portal, once. But the energy was limited. Elias had two options: use the portal to return to his own timeline, or stay behind and send a transmission, one containing every detail of the plague, its origin, and how to prevent it. But not both. He couldn't go back and send the warning. One action, one chance. That night, Elias couldn't sleep. He stood in the shadow of a broken city, watching the winds stir ash over cracked highways. He thought of his timeline, still safe, still full of life. A place where this future might still be avoided. But to save it, he might have to stay behind forever. The next morning, Elias made his decision. He returned to the ruined lab and reactivated the transmission array. Orin calibrated the data package: biological models, rift protocols, contamination patterns, collapse timelines. At the end of the file, Elias recorded a message. "If you're hearing this, I'm sorry. I saw a future where Earth dies, not by war, but by ignorance. This is a warning. Do not repeat my mistake." The array glowed faintly. "Transmission ready," Orin said. "Send it," Elias whispered. The tower erupted in light. A single quantum signal burst into the sky, threading through space and probability. And then, silence. The portal's power cells flickered. Elias walked to the stabilizer, watching as its interface counted down. He placed his hand on the edge and stepped back. The gate closed. He chose to remain. In the days that followed, he helped Orin transfer all remaining files into a backup core. He buried them deep within the earth, in hopes someone, someday, might find them. And then, Elias Voss disappeared into the ruins, the last echo of a future that would never come to pass. But far away, in a different timeline, in a pristine lab beneath a quiet forest, an alarm triggered. A new signal appeared on the monitors, carrying an impossible message, signed by a man who hadn't yet sent it. Red lights flashed. Project Helix went dark, and a different future began. Thank you for listening to this haunting tale on NightStoryHQ. If Elias's journey moved you, or chilled you, don't forget to subscribe for more immersive, mysterious stories that explore the edge of the unknown. Share this with someone who believes the future is still ours to shape. Until next time, sleep well, and be careful what doors you open.